returned home, whether invented, naturally occurring, or purchased. These objects of matter will remain as an example of what a creative mind or minds have brought into existence by thinking and sending out that desire and vision of having it in the physical form by the means of motivational science. Creative vibration is around us at all times. All one has to do is to look at what many minds before now, including our own, have created. As the mind thinks, sending out that signal of creation, it continues to create. The problem has been that we are thinking of someone else's instructions and program. Most prior creations of material things have been held as hierarchy and have been permitted to be the rulers of all powerful minds. It must be known that everything, no matter what its form, including currency and any asset that may be held by any human, was completely created by the mind. We have been repeatedly convinced that we are insignificant, and allow me to share with you, if a mind is weak and pliable, it can be taught all the wrongs and untruths imaginable. It makes perfect sense, as we have been following a program of another's reality, and until we change the paradigm to seek the truth of this knowledge, many will continue to exist just the same as they have existed. It is not only the crime of the millennia but the crime of eternity if we don't stop and think and reach out to each other for guidance and exercise free will. I know together we can return to the original state of powerful superior knowledge we had in the very beginning. The difference is we will not be vulnerable ever again. Once we reconnect, we have shifted our consciousness to exist in an empowered state, in complete control of reality by virtue of the free will. The reason people would not believe it is that they have yet to comprehend the power that has been within them the whole time. It is called free will and the ability to think and use the mind properly to utilize and balance the energy around us at all times, both light and dark energies. For humans to not examine the reason this has been hidden from us before now has never made sense to me, although I understand what has been the cause and how it has survived. As I said earlier, it is our own energy that is used against us to keep this feeling of lack and enslavement to the current environment relevant to all who benefit from it. This means we have the controlled capability to tap into the superior knowledge of understanding within ourselves for the benefit of making each of our lives better. You must clear your mind and learn to focus on the inner sounds of peace the body emits through vibrations when you are in a deep contemplative state and in harmony with nature around you. When you are aware of yourself, but even more aware of your surroundings, once you have reached the state of enlightenment, you will begin to realize and understand the power of the mind and what can be accomplished by finding positive new ways of thinking. Don't let others dictate corrupt practices through manipulation of the entire population and use loveless tactics to control our souls by way of fear of death or impoverishment. The fact is, the invisible energy that can never be destroyed is in you for eternity. We have life after life to try and rectify what has caused this cycle of ages to occur. In the material world, our vessels are made of the same, and their remains will always reside in giant earth. Only the energy of our souls lives for eternity, but the population has been taught to focus on life in relation to our vessels. The vessel is dense mass, just like all material things. It is dead mass with a very low vibration of energy compared to what the soul's energy produces. The soul is connected to the unseen planes of energies that are around us at all times. These energies are within our vessels and are completely surrounded on the outside, just waiting to be summoned to our command. It took me enough time to put all this information together, and now that I have learned many facts of matter and energy, I can relax and breathe a sigh of relief. I am more complete now and more confident in myself because of this rediscovered knowledge. No human will ever remove the created illusions of material things from this reality. The only thing that is permitted to go with the soul is either the enlightened mind of superior law and knowledge or the ignorance of the fool who failed miserably to take a step back and look closer into the broader spectrums of what was important. Chapter 7. To exist in the highest realm of all realities. The reality of energy is that it has its own reality, separate from the experience of the material reality, and what we do and have is not worthy to exist in the most powerful realm of reality and creation. What we experience in the human vessel's reality is by our own creation, even if we are feeding our energy to actions bestowed to others. I will return this time to the higher realm, not empty-minded but with complete love and superior knowledge, along with the science of superior wealth from my very powerful mind, which I once had before I agreed to return to this reality of illusion. I returned to help others escape the constraints placed upon them. Instead, I became influenced and confused, and that is how I lost my way. For me, there is nothing in this reality that is superior to the knowledge that is to be rediscovered by every human. All one has to do is look around to see what is in the correct flow of energy and what is lacking in this reality. Is it that difficult to just think and see what needs to be corrected? Every human has the very same ability. I know I am a teacher among other teachers from another place and time. Together we can exist in the energy and consciousness of Christ, as he has been my master of knowledge and all I have rediscovered. The channeled knowledge was shown to me through what I thought were dreams but were holograms of visions of what my soul had witnessed and remembered from my astral travels. My knowledge comes not from a textbook of man but from superior laws that govern all universes. Wealth is created now usually by the standards of a man-created reality that involves stealing from another or benefiting from another's ignorance or shortcomings, such as debt, and that is not the wealth of the higher realm. Don't be misled to think any wealth will do, because it absolutely does matter where it comes from and how it is obtained. The science of wealth is very real in the higher realm. How wealth even comes about is through the energy and knowledge of the mind and its ability to connect to the invisible side. From that, the mind sends the signal of that desire. From that signal, the vibration is created, which then interacts with the atoms, cells, carbon, and molecules that are brought together in a reasonable amount of time to create the series of events that will enable you to produce the tangible item or situation that was previously thought of. It can then be experienced, seen, touched, or held. To create wealth by natural creativity is real. To have achieved wealth through others' losses is not connected to superior law and will not grant you the right to reside in the higher realm. One is earned by the science of creation, and one is an illusion of the reality of what man has created. Wealth must come from the science or creativity of the mind, such as inventions, music, acting, and writing. Basically anything that is connected to the elements of helping others or this planet and not the perpetuating concept of a system in a man-created reality. Every human has the ability to expand the mind and co-creates whatever his or her soul desires. I would like to share some of my favorite acting and musical performances that pack a powerful message to wake up. These include the holiday movie It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart, and though there are many, a couple of songs that stand out are Chris Ria's The Road to Hell, John Lennon's Imagine. The messages are in the lyrics if one just would pay attention and listen closely. In this universe, there is balance created by love and peace. It has always been balanced, and if our planet is at a wobble, I am putting this out there as theory only, is it possible that our unbalanced state of mind is the cause? The nature of this planet is balanced. It is the human's reality of illusion that is out of balance. What are some of the man-created realities that have caused all minds to react in a way that feeds the energy for their agenda to continue to thrive? War, economic collapse, homelessness, debt, disease. These all replace the elements of knowledge, power of love, and wealth. The entire globe is in some way influenced by these man-created realities. It has been a way of life for many, many thousands of years. Chapter 8: The Reality of War and Inheritance. The dark truth: the reality of war only teaches ignorance and separates us from our purpose. The concept is to fight and destroy each other as if it is a sport. What is war good for anyway but to create an economy for the system designed by the greed of a few men? Be careful about what you believe to be just with regard to war. One may experience firsthand what it is like to be the recipient of this system designed by man in a future life in the realm of karma. How long does each term of life exist? How can we claim anything in the material world is temporary in the present? How can we make claims on elements that have been here long before mankind? How could humans continue to exist in the way we have for so long? War and debt serve only one purpose, and that is to act as a diversion to keep the mind from connecting to the superior law of the master's knowledge. The mind must be burdened at all times. This serves to keep it from the ability to astrally seek the freedom of the soul. Instead, many will retire into the night hours with the burden of lack and worry of paying debt. The ones who created this reality will be out in the dark of the night, practicing, unbeknownst to most people, pagan rituals, knowing their thoughts are energy and will connect to the weak-minded who are enslaved by the current reality. In the material world, we believe inheritance from our elders is such a gift, but we never stop to think that what the gift delivers is a reality that ensures a system continues to be practiced. In many cases, the government has its hand in these hand-me-downs in some way. If it is real estate, the property has a tax. If they are stocks, they are taxed. The influence of the system of man is always in some way involved, as it should, being the system is designed that way. There is nothing in this world more important than the truth. One thing I do know is that my mind is very clear in what it sees and knows now. I have to admit, the day I could see the light, though it was pure bliss for me, was very overwhelming. It was daunting to be able to see these realities, both the one we live in and the one waiting to be discovered by each soul on a scientific level. Once I could see myself from outside this reality looking in, I found that I was filled with anger beyond words. My whole life I had questions and feelings, yet I had no idea as to why. The world I could see seemed to be invented, and I did not realize just how it was invented. What I mean by invented is not the Big Bang Theory but rather how the world is run, oppression, depression, and suffering. I felt the truth without knowing there had to be a simple explanation. What gives all of what we see and experience such an elaborate illusion of reality? The word is vibration, and the effect is what is created by a specific action. Everything is static, not stagnant. In this universe and related to the number 5, nothing will remain the same. The number 5 is the symbol of change. Our ignorance is what has allowed this current system of reality to survive for as long as it is by attaching itself to the weakness that is layer upon layer, smothering our souls from any past lives until the current time. If war had a purpose in my mind, it would be that all this time when we thought we were fighting each other, no matter what the reason, we were, in some unknown or misunderstood way, trapped in a battle preparation state for the possibility of an alien attack or an unknown collision in space. The effects would impact our planet, and that would certainly produce a threat greater than the likes of which we have ever seen. This would create a logical reason to band together in the battle for spiritual survival to save our souls. The possibility of this as likely as our own vibration can be felt in the depths of space, and the amount of lack of each human harbor creates a strong signal as we are the conductors of a network of dark energy by our lack of knowledge. It's what we experience daily in our own reality. Just as the ones who designed this current system, there are friendly and also unfriendly aliens out there with the same demeanor as the ones who created our system of reality. President Ronald Reagan once spoke of the possibility of an outside attack, as he disclosed that he and his wife, Nancy, witnessed a flying saucer flying parallel with Air Force One during one of their travels. We will discover that these occurrences have been a constant presence here on planet Earth dating as far back as the time when the Sumerians and Anunnaki ruled the Earth. To the Egyptians, this was the beginning of enlightenment on Earth from another place and time. Yet without knowing what lies and wait in other parts of the globe, the very opposite reality was being bestowed on the rest of humanity in the form of lack and suffering, in which case, at this time, they soon realized and understood that this planet was invaded by numerous outside beings that were causing this confusion. This would explain numerous cultures and descendants of our vessels. We are energy in a vessel, and the vessel cannot exist without the energy to fill it and sustain life. To grasp this is to have the ability to see the invisible energy as it is. What keeps your vessel alive and well? The vessel cannot sustain life without the energy of the soul present inside it. The shift in our knowledge and thinking skills is going to bring about a change in this state of consciousness and reveal to each of us how we use our powerful minds to understand the science of life. How we put this knowledge to use in the creation process to achieve all we desire under different circumstances than we are currently experiencing is going to bring with it a new sense of hope and healing for mankind and encourage peace and prosperity through the pureness of love and gratitude. There are no limits on our power when we are correctly using our full potential to achieve all we can. The only limits are the limits we place upon ourselves by